Hi guys, welcome back to Origami Twist. My name's Jen, and today's video was inspired by my husband. He actually spent all day yesterday getting brand new plants into the ground in our front yard, just in time for winter here in Western Australia. And I figured since springtime's coming in the Northern Hemisphere and we're in planting season here, I would share this interesting origami tip with you. So essentially what we're going to do is take a newspaper and turn it into a seedling pot. And as you can tell, I couldn't find a newspaper this morning. We've recycled all of ours. So I'm using an A3 sheet of paper, but the concept is the same. You use a tabloid size newspaper to do your folding. If you use a bigger newspaper, you'll just end up with a bigger pot. So experiment with the size of it. But essentially, newspapers are biodegradable, which means that once you have planted your seedling in your pot, you can let it grow to the size that you want until you're ready to put it into the ground. And when you go to put it in the ground, you can just plant it, pot and all, in the ground, and the newspaper will biodegrade around it. Now, my husband is actually painting the windows behind me here, and as he was listening to me film this over and over again and try not to make bloopers over and over again, he did mention that another benefit of planting the seedling with the pot directly into the ground is that the roots won't be disturbed on the plant, which will mean that your plant will actually take quicker into the ground and thrive better as well. So there's that tip as well. I thought you might like that. Okay, so once you have your sheet of newspaper folded into about this size, you're then going to fold it in half. So we're now going to fold it in half again. And then fold it in half once more, making nice creases, and unfold. And if you hold your paper like this with that last crease going vertical, we're now going to, making sure that the fold is on the edge that you're working with, we're now going to bring that fold into the center like so, right on that crease and crease. So that edge from the crease all the way to the edge of the paper is going to line up with that center crease and crease. You're then going to do the same thing on the other side, so that top fold, not where it's all open, on the other side, you want to make sure it's that folded edge is going to come into the center and crease. Now, it doesn't need to be super neat because this is going to get planted in the ground and biodegrade eventually anyway, but you do want to try to stay as neat as possible. Now we're going to start with the right-hand side, and notice my hand is holding down all of the other papers. This is to stabilize this pocket that we're about to work with. So I'm going to lift up the right-hand side and obviously unfold that triangle. And then I'm going to open up the gap just here. Now when I do, I'm going to press down on the paper. And as I press down on the paper, the two creases that I've created before, here and here, are going to flatten out. Now, especially on this crease here, it was actually folded the other way a minute ago, so you may have to do a little bit of finagling or, working with it in order to get it to go inside out. But that's essentially what you do, and then you're going to move the paper back over. So essentially you're taking this flap that you've created here and putting it inside out. And we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to hold down the two flaps that have been created on the right hand side, open up the gap. Now you'll notice this one has lots more layers just because of where it's folded, but that's okay. Find the middle of the paper, and you'll know it's the middle because the same piece of paper will go all the way around on the inside and all the way around on the outside. And again, it's the same thing. You're going to press down on that crease here in the middle, line it up with the edge in the center here, and then this crease that had been created previously and this crease here are going to get flattened. So this one on the right is going to turn inside out, and this one is just going to be recreased. And fold it back over. So now I've got 2 flaps on the top, 2 flaps on the bottom, and I've got this gap in here. Only a few more steps and you've finished your seedling pot. So now I'm turning my paper this way just because I find it easier to fold. You can hold it this way if you'd like to. But essentially you're just going to bring that top flap again into the center. So this edge here is going to line up with the center, and then we're going to crease all the way across and turn it around. And this edge here is going to come into that center crease and flatten. Then we turn the paper over and do the same thing again. Edge into the center and crease. Turn it around, edge into the center and crease. Now, without doing any other moving around, you're now going to take that top rectangle that's been created and just fold it down on itself. Just where those 2 triangles are. And then you're going to turn it over, and the same thing, where the 2 triangles are, you're just going to fold that rectangle down onto it. And if you've done any boxes or any origami 3-dimensional objects with me before, you'll probably recognize that this is the fun part. If you hold onto those 2 sides that you just folded down and sort of press down as you pull apart, you'll notice that the bottom of your box begins to flatten out, and you turn it into a little box. And there you go, 1 seed pot. Now you'll notice this is a bit wide and shallow. You'll find that the tabloid size newspaper actually gives you a slightly smaller, narrower, whatever you want to call it, narrower container, as well as a little bit taller. It's just the dimensions of this paper are slightly out. So you should end up with again, a taller, skinnier seedling pot. But either way, it'll work the same way. You fill it with soil, put your seedling or your seed in it, water it, get it to grow a little bit, and then when you're ready to plant it, you just plant it, newspaper and all, in the ground, and your plant is ready to have a healthy, happy life. All right, I hope you use this little seedling pot to your advantage and create a beautiful garden this year. And I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you back here on Wednesday for another video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.